Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the Creditors.com. I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things that are very important that I'm seeing on the horizon dealing with debt collectors. You're going to want to watch this video because other people that do this work, they're not going to tell you this, or they don't even know about it because they're not really in the trenches like we are. I can tell you of another adjustment that has been made by debt collectors. Now, when they are suing you in court, the first thing that they don't expect you to do is to write a response to the court summons. I just showed you a video where over 198,000 people, I believe, in Indiana over the last few years were sued, and like 93% of them were default judgments. And most people don't even write a response. They just go to court and they just have no answers. And but you do have a right when you go to court. You have a right to put up a defense. You can lose or you could win, but most people don't even give themselves a chance. Well, something that I'm starting to see from some debt collection buyers, debt buyers. I'm not talking about from original creditors. I'm talking about debt buyers who buy old debt, but they pay a lot more money for it. Is that they're starting to up the ante on making the request for production of documents, and they use this as a scare tactic because they're like, if we're going to make you produce all of these documents to prove your side, which in a way is they're trying to make you produce documents that will actually prove their side. That's the strange thing about it, is that if you were to produce the documents that they're asking for, it's going to actually help make their case. So you obviously, when you do your response, you would just still stay within the bounds of what you've done before, and then anything that you don't want to answer, you would respectively, just say that you not enough information to admit or deny for that particular uh, allegation that they're asking you a question on. But what's going to end up happening with most of these cases that are like this, where they pay more money for these types of debts? We're not talking about, you know, $2,000 and $3,000 and $4,000 credit card debts where they bought them for pennies on a dollar. These are debts where they pay a lot more money because they feel that they can collect a lot more money. So they're not. It's not going to be within this past the statute of limitation. There's going to be a guarantee on that, and it's going to be a high dollar amount. They put a lot of uh, um, manpower into collecting these, and they could be 40, 50, 70, 90, $100,000 or more. So they're going to buy these debts for a lot more money. And so uh, what kind of grabbed my attention, it was when a client said, well, man to man, what would you do? So I'm going to run through the scenario of what I would do, and I can tell you what I would do because I was in a situation just like this a number of years ago. So I know exactly how it feels, and I know the different options. Like, I went through all the options with an attorney, without an attorney. I'm going to tell you the options, and then I'm going to tell you one of the things that a lot of people are falling for, which is debt settlement. They're thinking that if I have this attorney coming after me and I decide to go into debt settlement, that it's going to make them stop coming after me, and that's not true. They will still come after you. This is one of the misconceptions about debt settlement. They cannot guarantee that the collector is not going to try to sue you. Uh, Supposedly, when you're in negotiations, uh, that they're supposed to stop coming after you, but that's if you're in active negotiations. It's kind of a gray area when a debt settlement company takes upon representing you, and they say that everything is supposed to stop. It might stop for a minute, but then it's gonna start back up, especially if they've already started the wheels turning by taking you to court. I want to be specific on what debt settlement companies will do. Number one, when you go into debt settlement, they're going to they're going to review how much debt you have, and then they're going to come up with a monthly payment amount. That monthly payment amount is based off of what they believe for whatever debts you have, if it's a group or if it's one. After a period of time, they believe that they could settle that debt for somewhere in that amount of money that they collected from you, plus or minus their fee. So let's just say for they this is their big number. They always say 36 months. So let's just say for 36 months you paid them $500. So they got $18,000 to use for the settlement. And let's say that you owe $36,000, you owe double that amount. So what they would try to do is they would try to approach the company minus the 15% of the 18,000. So if you have 18,000 in escrow, because it has to go to an escrow account, times 15% minus $2,700. And some of them I've seen even be higher than this, but minus $2,700. So you're already at 18,000 minus 2,700. So now you're at $15,300. So now they're going to try to get that debt collector to settle for $15,300. What if they say no? We want to settle for $20,000 because we paid a lot more for this. We put a lot of action behind collecting this, and we believe that your client has the money to pay more. And they say, well, we want $20,000. This is what the companies have been doing, and I don't think that it's I don't think that it's a good thing to have people do this. But this is exactly what we've seen from documents that were shared with us, is that they would have the person go and get a loan for the remaining amount minus their fees. So you have 18,000. They say that they want to settle for 20. They're going to go and arrange a loan for you using so you have your money minus their 2,700, which is going to actually move it up higher, because if they say they want 20,000, that makes their percentage move up to $3,000. So they're going to want to get the $3,000. So you're actually only have $17,000, and you're going to need to have a loan to bridge you over an additional $2,000 to bridge you to make this whole thing happen. And we see people do that, and they're like, I'm paying this loan back that they arranged for me from one of their providers to be able to do this, and it's put me in a worse situation, because I thought that all I would have to do is the money that I've been paying for 36 months. Nobody, not me, my company, no debt settlement company, no debt settlement lawyer, anyone can guarantee the amount that a company is going to accept. Most companies come in at about 50%. Some of them, depending on what type of debt it is and how old it is, they might go lower. Some of them may go higher, depending on what they know about the individual client that owes the money. But that's what they're going to do for debt settlement. So don't be fooled. You need to ask them, will they sue you? Because they can sue you. And you need to ask them, and I already know this answer, I've given it to you. Can you guarantee the amount that they're going to settle for? And they're going to say, well, it's going to be between this and that. We've seen a whole bunch of them not be even at the number close, and their fee has to come out of that, so you could actually have to come up with more money after you've been paying those payments. That's if you're allowed to do the payments, because they will, in some cases, take you to court and sue you and get a judgment. So now, my solution, if you're being sued, and no matter what level it's at, if you've already went through the first hearing and you did your response, and then they trying to take it up a notch like they're trying to do with this client, you can always write your responses, and then you can go into a settlement phase afterwards. So if they say, okay, in one example, the client did the response and they made the next hearing date a year away. Like, if you were so confident in your case, why would you make it to come a year from now why wouldn't you do that 30 days from now? But if they come back and say, hey, okay, we got your responses, we want to have the trial date 30 days later. So you know that they feel confident, and then you can move to do a settlement with them, and you can do that with yourself, or you can hire a service to go directly at doing a settlement, and you don't have to pay any additional fees. You can just, uh, you know, have someone call on your behalf and just do the negotiation and let them know that you had a hardship and that you want to resolve it, and let's try to move forward. If it's going to be with a lump sum or if it's going to be with payments, that would be your best option, that you can move forward before the actual trial date, if they felt confident that they were going to win. And you'll know if they're going to feel confident because they're going to make that date within 30 to 45 days or 60 days. So those are the options. So I want to make sure that everyone knows what the process is going to be, because when I was going through it, when I would speak with the attorneys, I'm like, do you understand what they're asking you? Do you understand what could be the next move on this? They just basically either were talking about doing bankruptcy or doing the debt settlement. It was not even appropriately answering the summons. So some of the times with this, you got to make sure you get with people that do know what they're doing with responding to these debt collection lawsuits. And there are a lot of attorneys out there that do handle it, but they're gonna probably do it on a case-by-case basis based on what you give them to review. So I wanted to get that information out there because we're seeing it. I mean, this stuff is gonna keep ramping up. Debt collection companies gonna make their adjustments, because they're not just doing this just to lose money. They're doing it to win. They're doing it as an investment, and they want a return on their investment. All right, so if you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, what makes us different, so you can see my 8-point validation process and my 2-phase settlement process. Also, I understand that people are not able to afford our service fees, and that's understandable. We do have a program, and I don't mention it enough, but I'm going to start making sure I mention it, where you can do things yourself, and then you would be able to communicate with us if you have questions. And maybe that's an option that might be good for you, because I give you all the documents. I make step-by-step videos as if you were looking right over my shoulder here in my office, and you can just watch those, and it can either help you with repairing credit, it can help you with fighting back against debt collectors early, or you can use the information that I have to actually fight them in court, where you can just study and learn. You always have a right to study and learn and utilize that information. The link is also below this video. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com to grab those. And if you have debt collectors coming after you, for a limited time, I have my 3-pack of letters, statute of limitation, debt validation, and cease and desist collection activities letter available. Make sure that you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Post your questions and comments. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and Founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.